The other thing too is like men. I know we're really born and bred to like follow and defend this patriarchal structure. Let's just be honest. A lot of us can't afford that, and we have to make amends with that and realize we can't afford to be a sole provider in 2025 with eggs being like $10. Let's be clear about that.
Okay, so the I've just sat here and I listened for a little bit, right? And there are points that I agree with, but this is what I do notice. There are Mistaken made a very great point about the women not being of a certain caliber. But she also said, "You men, blah 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 blah." Shan did the same thing. So the reason why it's important to hold women accountable is because women, on the whole, are not holding women accountable. And we're talking about men being the leader, and you just said that men can't they're not making the money to sustain a house with eggs at $10 a carton. According to whom? A man is running his own house just fine. So why
So
wouldn't he be able to bring somebody in to fall under his program? Why wouldn't he be able to go ahead and add one person?
Because it's
Like
gonna.
there,
I
like
agree
no,
though.
because she has a lifestyle that you're saying that a man should have to keep up. No, that bitch can just stay out there.
No,
Okay,
Like
thank
that's
you.
really the way I see it.
okay.
Like
So
for
no,
me,
hey,
and
let me
I'm
let.
gonna give an example, and I'm gonna stop after this
Give me
example.
a second, Maroon.
So,
Let me.
for me, right, when I found my wife, you're gonna move in. If you want to be my wife, you're gonna move in. And you're gonna be happy inside this house. It's got panel walls. It's what I can afford right now. You're gonna be happy in there, or you're not gonna be able to be my wife. That was what I said. The problem is, and it happens far too often, and we see it in these panels. We see it on the TikToks and the Instagrams and the Facebooks. I personally see different things in my real life, but for the sake of argument, oh, I'm not doing that. If he can't pay this, if he can't do this, if he can't do that, and my message to men is, and I love the way Hink says it. Leave that bitch at the restaurant. Leave that heifer at the restaurant. That means move on to somebody else.
And,
That's
and
really what that means. But that doesn't mean I can't hold her accountable for her actions as part of the breakdown of the community. And I'd love to blame men for everything. I'd love to say, hey, men, get your shit together. Hey, men, go make $175,000 a year. I would love to be able to say that, but that's not even realistic. So, for I'm getting off because like I was just listening. I'm like, nobody just stood firm on, yo, this like women ain't moving right either. And we like it
so
happened for 20 minutes straight. That's crazy.
Okay,
let me say this real fast. Monday through Thursday on this channel, we talk about women.
That's
This
a
is
fact.
the reason why I have this show is because one show, can we just hold just this one show? And even in the conversation I was having, I said balance each other. Women don't moving right either. If you want this kind of man, I clearly said that. I don't know how you didn't hear it, but I clearly said that. So you can't want on both ends what you are not, right? So that's literally all I'm saying. And to sit here and say that, oh, women are not, we hold women accountable Monday through Thursday and Sunday. Today,
I
we're
I
going to talk about men and we're going to talk about women, both of them.
see my other thought is I don't think that it's men that should be holding women accountable. I think it's women that need to be holding women accountable, and I believe men should be holding men accountable. The problem is women will not hold women accountable. Instead, they sit in this sisterhood. There's about what, five, maybe six channels where there are women that are holding women accountable, but there are about 75 of the sisterhood talking crap about men. So at some point, we got to be able to say, you know what, y'all got some trash ways too. and it's not pointing
your
to the
algorithm.
It's your algorithm because
Exactly.
because what I want to say this real fast. I see women. I saw Aisha on Wednesday holding women accountable, saying she don't understand why you want to go out of the street looking like a slut. She holds women accountable. People hold women when something is wrong. We don't mind saying something is wrong. Now we can have a difference in agreement on what's important and what's not important, but it's women on these panels who clearly say when a woman is wrong. People be like, oh, she this, she that, you know, she ain't holding up to the thing. People got on mad at me because I agree with a mirror on something. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't a time to back because I agree with what she said. Like, so don't sit here and say women not holding women accountable. That's just incorrect information. Now, it may not sound like what you wanted to be said. Now, we're not going to bash women like you do because we understand that women don't like, just like it's an approach. You got to say things a certain way to men. It's the same thing when it comes to women. You got to say things a certain way to women. I can sit here and say, okay, don't move like this. You know what I'm saying? But we understand that there are different types of women in this world. Just like it's men who've been in jail, who's still in jail. They got sisters who grew up in the same household, and she just as ratchet as him. She just ain't in jail. You understand? And y'all keep running after her like she ain't ratchet. And like, oh, she just, you know, she wearing a bonnet in the street and blah, 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 blah. She looked like she wear a bonnet. Like, what else did you expect? Like, she being who she is. Y'all want women to be so perfect. Like, we all got to be perfect. Like, da, 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 da. But when it comes to y'all, it's different levels. Nah, that's a Pookie. That's a Ray Ray. That's different. Well, Shaniqua, and I'm sorry if your name is Shaniqua, but that's his cousin. And they grew up the same way. They about their life. It was one person in the chat that said the crack pit, you know, the crack epidemic hurt people in the 80s and 90s. Tara knows a few people on crack because she was in New York. I didn't experience that. And I knew not one person who was on crack. I knew not one person who was on drugs. Not one. So it depends on where you are. It affected you. It didn't affect you, right? So that's just how life goes. People come from different walks and to expect us all to be on the same page with things. It's just not the way it goes. And I'm going to leave with this right here. What's the girl who be on the show? What's the guy? His name is Marco. He's like a comedian. And it was a girl, it's a white girl and it's a black girl. I think she's like a rapper or something. You know what I'm talking about?
The interviewer?
What's her name?
The interviewer?
I don't. So there's, and I wish I had it. She sits there and he said, well, what do your parents say when you come to the family reunion and you talking about being a hoe? She was like, they hoes. I come from a line full of hoes. This ain't nothing new. You got to know people come from different walks of life. What we think is unacceptable, they think is acceptable, right? Like Sexy Red think what she doing is okay. And that may be okay for the people she lives around, how she lives her life. For us, we may be like, oh, that's not okay. You understand? Is this making sense? I know, but this, am I making any sense? Like,
yeah. Well, first and foremost,
it's just different people on different wavelengths that think different things are right and different things are wrong. But y'all only say that men can be separated, but women are all clumped together. You know, you don't get a chance to be, you know. No, they grew up in the same neighborhood. They grew up with the same parents. They had the same foundation. Like, so she's supposed to walk out perfect, like ignore all of that and be perfect while he gets a pass on being the way he is. Like, come on.